Today, I shared a post, not thinking anything was negative of it. It came from a black pastor, and it had a black man holding a shirt that said "White Lives Matter" also. And then I put at the bottom, "We need to pray for all lives." That is a transformation, for Christ. And I got backlash. I got two death threats, and you know, and the people that I've never been to a Black Lives Matter rally, but one reason is I've been in and out of the hospital for the last year. On May 5th of this year, I went in for, I'm not even sure to be honest because I can't remember anything, but they gave me a scan and they gave me a contrast eye, which um, which caused me to go into code blue twice and I have two strokes. And the strokes did affect me, my cerebellum side and one other part of the brain. And um, I'm very forgetful on things, and it is still happening. But when I made that comment that all lives matter, that had nothing to do against black people, by no means. The hatred that I've seen come from that group just because I made a comment that all lives matter is ridiculous, because the people that we work with is a big portion of them are black, and now they're concerned because they count on us for help on bringing awareness out on wrongful convictions, and just so much. Now they want to dig up my past. The reason I moved into a black community was because I respected them. They were not judgmental by no means. Um, and like my nurse was over today, and she explained to me everything that was what was why they call it just Black Lives Matter. Nobody's explained that to me. They haven't, except they gave me a couple of death threats. And they said they're going to counter protest my past. I've never hid my past from anybody. I did 25 years in prison. What changed my life was a personal relationship with Christ. And that's why I don't retaliate by no means. And I'm not going to sit here and bash anybody because I accept all races. So yeah, I came on to apologize, but when I just read the last comment on me from a one lady who I thought was my friend, but I found out she is racist because she told me what she thought of white people. If we want to, if this is for anybody, not black lives, not white lives, not any of that, but if we expect respect, we have to show respect. I attend a church that is, hi Katie, I attend a church that is a mixture of white, black, and maybe other. I don't know if there's other or not, but we get along great. And we have never turned anyone down because of race, because of we served at breakfast, we served Islam people, Wiccan people for breakfast. We don't turn anyone away. And change starts with us. Ohio will not turn anyone away by no means. And I'll share what my past is, because some people are so concerned about it. When I was 7 years old, I was a victim of sexual abuse from a swimming instructor at the YMCA. As I got older, and my case was only consisted of this, but the more it happens, it turns into a felony. But it was public indecency and several different charges. I think I started at 16 at that, and it just went on, and I got counseling, and finally, Judge Todi and Bria dismissed it and gave me probation. Not probation, but got me into counseling. But then 90 days later, I got an indictment from Cuyahoga County Jail on 2 counts of attempted kidnapping. And that's what I was convicted of. What did I do was wrong? Absolutely. I was not guilty of what the conviction was. I would only gotten 6 months if it was a true conviction. But I probably would not be as close to God today as I am now. And I think what really brought me closer was, like I was explaining on May 5th when I went in just for a test, and the contrast caused me to go into 2 code blues and 2 strokes. And I almost lost my life. They called my sisters up, asked them to come down. My one sister lived in Texas. My other one lives in Brunswick, Ohio. But they were in communication all the time with the hospital. The doctors would call constantly. The first 48 hours, I believe that's what it was, they didn't think I was going to make it. But by the grace of God, and I don't remember anything except the day they took the ventilator out. That I had the biggest smile on my face. But I looked at my hands, my feet. It looked like I was dead. They were so swollen from water. They had to have me in ice beds because I had a temperature of 107 from pneumonia as well. But I survived because it was God's will. It was not my will, by no means. We're never going to bring up somebody's past. Because that's not what we're about. We believe in fighting for people's rights. That does not mean I think everybody should be released from prison. I don't. But I think they should have a fair opportunity to be released, no matter who they are, no matter what their past is. And then we also know there's those that are wrongfully convicted that we try to help bring awareness out. And that's gonna that is a major issue right now, is that we need to bring awareness out that people are wrongfully convicted, not just in Ohio, but nationwide. Then there's those that claim to be innocent but are not. I remember a lawyer from the Innocence Project told me several years ago, one way you could tell if someone's innocent or not, if they fight past the 3rd year they're incarcerated. Usually those that are not innocent will give up after 3 years. And another way I found out is by listening to everything they say. Does the story change? Does the story stay the same? And that's a good way you can tell. And believe me, I've seen some of the most horrific cases around. But what I do is I pray for them. I'm not going to sit there and bash them. I don't support the death penalty. That's not a deterrent to crime. And it's, our group is just unique because we became faith-based because of our relationship with God. And we are going to help people, black, white, and other. And I think most of the people that are locked up are black or white. I remember seeing one Asian person in the 25 years. I need to like a year. I've seen like 4 Hispanic people in there before. I'm sure there's more, but that was at I forget if it was at Belmont or where, but we kind of followed each other to different camps, and I became good friends with them, except they taught me some Spanish that got me into trouble, thinking it was saying good morning, but it definitely was not. It was kind of derogatory, and if I would have known that, I would not have said that. But now I try to post stuff that is positive, and I got to learn how to word things sometimes. Ever since the stroke, my wording is awful. I do apologize to Black Lives Matter. I did not intend for that to be what I posted to be racist by any means. I'm not racist. I was not raised that way. You could check with any of our former board members or anybody that we've worked with. And if you listen to any of the live videos of inmates that I've done in the last year, 99%, I think all of them actually are black people. You could go to our YouTube channel as well, Change Starts With Us Ohio, and please like that page and join our channel. We need 1,000 people. But we're always open to suggestions. We are looking for a public relations officer, We are looking for a secretary and treasurer. So I'd love to have anyone join us if they're able. Let me see who's all watching. Hi, everyone. I see 3 people, but for some reason, it would not let me tag anybody on this video. But let me see if I can. I'll be right back in 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, everybody. But the treasurer's job would be to report our statements to the I think it's the Secretary of State. I'm not sure, but they would have to do a they had to open up an account in our name, in our group's name. Secretary will be taking care of minutes at the meeting, and I don't go to every meeting just due to health-wise. And I'm probably, after our conference on November 21st, I'm probably backing away. The doctor asked me to. So, but it's in great hands with Candace Rocker Rhodes, who is our president. Rocker is her husband, who is wrongfully convicted, that is incarcerated for 30 years for a crime he did not commit. There's proof and evidence, but the courts don't want to see that because they're afraid of the money they have to pay. Then our vice president, Jerry Vaughn, his son is wrongfully convicted. Our advisors is Beverly Seymour, our senior advisor. Stephanie Drew. Alan Stapleton is actually one of our vice presidents over reentry and programming. A great guy. And I would back him up 100%. And then I'm trying to think, and then Jim Love is also one of our advisors. If anybody knows anything about Beverly Seymour, Jim Love, Beverly Seymour drafted our bill on parole reform several years ago. I sat down with it. Well, we were on the phone for hours. I gave her ideas. She put things in words and sometimes changed my ideas to something a little bit better. She did a great job. Jim Love now is a gentleman that is very legally smart, very brilliant. Man, so is Beverly. They're both very brilliant people. Different backgrounds, different walks of life. Everybody in our group is really different walks of life. Candace and I talked several times on how the Mexicans have really been discriminated against as well. And I know there's a lot of hurtful feelings on being treated. I was made fun of as a kid and discriminated against because I had some serious health problems that kind of lasted my whole life. But, so we all have to sometimes, realize that our words can hurt, even if that was not an intent. I support Black Lives 100%. I support Cynthia Brown 100%. But I would not support hate or threats. And I don't think any of you should support hate or threats as well. And this is not about who you support for president. If you're a Republican, it's about being an American and supporting others and supporting other races, other religions, other genders. There's a lot of people I've known for many years. I had a black pastor call me last night. He said, "We know you're not racist. I've known you for the 11 years you've been out of prison." And it's sad though, because that really hurt when somebody would sit there and have enough guts to say that about me instead of educating. When you educate people, you will win. When you show hate, you will not. And we will not tolerate hate. We will not tolerate threats, but we will be professional. Everybody have yourself a great day and a great evening.